welcome to the video. This is WADZ World, a channel dedicated to showing you a bit of insight into life as an artist and designer. In today's episode, we are going to try and submit a piece of digital artwork to OFFF Festival, which is a digital design festival in Barcelona. They have like an open submission where they're going to be projecting digital artworks onto a massive building throughout the festival weekend. It's been a goal of mine to get some artwork or design work projected onto a building or a billboard internationally, so hopefully we can get that done in this video. Let's give it a go. Okay, so next step, we're actually building out the animation itself. As you can see, we've got a few different animation tiles here. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily going to run with these, but I'm just kind of trying to build out the scene a little bit, establish the style, land on something that I like, and then probably I'll revisit some of these tiles themselves. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles here. They're not all equal in proportions. As you can see, it's a bit of a strange shaped building. So we need to probably make some like custom shapes and sizes here rather than it all being like uniform, exactly the same shape tiles. But that's kind of interesting because if you look at like Gaudi's work in Park Güell and stuff, like the tiles that he uses are not all exactly fitting together. Like there's some sizes and shapes. So I think that actually is quite fitting for what we're trying to achieve here.
Okay, so I'm going to talk you through a bit of the process that I've been on to get to this point with the project itself. I started thinking about the venue of the festival, which is in Barcelona. I've been to Barcelona a few times, so that kind of just had me thinking about the city's aesthetic, architecture, stuff like that, which led me to think about, Gaudi, who's a iconic Catalonian architect, and his like style and aesthetic is pretty prevalent throughout Barcelona. Especially in terms of like the tiling and stuff, I felt was pretty iconic to Barcelona. So I thought, maybe we could take this whole building facade and break it up into little animations that are like tiled almost to fill out the design. From there I was thinking, okay, but what style should we do the little animations? So I was looking through like different art styles, thinking what would work well on a big scale. And I thought that Bauhaus could work nicely, especially in this tiled style as well. So I started messing around with a few little animations. I thought it was looking pretty cool, but I needed to work out like a bit of a colour theme here. So I was sat on that for a few days, looking at different colours and stuff, messing around on coolers.com, where you can kind of present different colours together and just like see what works well. It wasn't quite hitting though, so I just sat with it for a few days, and then randomly, this is kind of how sometimes you land on ideas. I was looking through photos from a trip in Marrakesh, and I was looking at photos from the YSL building or YSL house. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a pretty iconic landmark in Marrakesh, and the colours are like super vibrant, super bold, and I thought, maybe something like that could work and like take a bit of inspiration from that. So I was messing around with like the blue, like deep blue hue from that building. There's a lot of yellows in there as well, but it wasn't really working for this project. So I messed around with like the blue, like a bit of an off-white, and a deep pink that kind of matched the blue as well. I felt that kind of gave the whole project a bit of a, not futuristic, but like modern kind of feel to it, rather than using like muted colours. So I felt that was working well. Now it was just a case of building out all the different animations and like compiling them together into one large overall animation, which I'm pretty gassed with in the end. I think it's worked really well.
Right, okay, so I'm going to give you a brief breakdown of how I created one of the elements of this wider animation. Obviously, I'm not going to break them all down. I'll just give you a brief breakdown so you can kind of get an idea of how an animation like this works. So this whole animation is made up of like, about 20 different animations, maybe a little bit less. We're going to break down this eye animation. I'll show you how it all plays out together now. Obviously this is static now because I'm about to show you how to make it, but let's jump into that one. So we have, basically what I did to start with was I created the shape of this in Illustrator over 2 layers. So the first layer is just a blue background with this like eye shape, and then the second layer is like the pupil and iris. So we've separated them out. We save that as an Illustrator file, import it into an After Effects, which then we open as a new composition. So we've got those 2 layers here, and then we've also got the click track marker, which was provided by the festival as part of the working template or working file. This allows us to create the animation or any reactive elements to it in beat. So it's going to be the whole like visual show is going to be played with audio playing at 125 BPM. So everyone who submits, all their work will be at the same BPM, meaning it's just like it's all in time to the beat essentially. So anything we do, we need to bear that in mind. So jumping into it, what we're going to do is we're going to press P, open the position, and add a keyframe on the first actual beat, not the start of the timeline, but the first beat. So we'll add that in now. And then we'll go to the beginning of the timeline. We're just going to move the position of the pupil layer to the left, and that will automatically add a keyframe. Then we'll do the same on the second beat, but to the right. And then we'll go to the fourth frame and we'll central align that. And then we've basically got our loop already. So like I say, it's super straightforward. It's pretty simple stuff. But when you add it all together with the different animations, it kind of compounds to like this cool visual effect. What we'll do then is we'll copy all the keyframes, go to the next beat, paste, and just keep doing that until we fill the timeline. I'll just show you for now. We're going to select, well, I'll show you how that looks without me doing the next step. So now it's just super linear going left to right. But what we can do to enhance that a little bit more is select all the keyframes, right click, go to keyframe assistant and add easy ease. Now you'll see it looks a bit more dynamic, the movement when we play it out. You can see it kind of like, it's not just a constant speed throughout, right? So I just think that it's a bit more interesting visually when you have that enabled within this kind of style at least. So now when we play the whole thing out together, everything, as you can see, we've got different animations going on. They all have the same fundamental, that they're all playing within that beat. And that's the kind of another thing that kind of brings them all together, in my opinion. But like I say, they're not super complicated animations. Some are more complicated than others. But with this style, I actually think it's, keeping it pretty simple overall works better. But anyway, that's kind of how we put the whole thing together. I think it looks pretty cool so far. So I'm going to submit that. Hopefully they feel the same and we can see that on the building in Barcelona. Fingers crossed. Right then, so since we last spoke, I got the animation finished. We submitted it to OFFF BCN. We just got the email back today and we're going to Barcelona. I'm gassed. Really excited, man. There was like 750 plus applications from around the world. One of my goals at the start of the year was to have my work displayed on like big screens or like big billboards or something in like one of the major cities. So I'm gonna tick that off the list. I've not really submitted stuff like this before, so I'm excited to have got in. Another one of my goals actually as well, whilst I'm on that, was to hit a certain YouTube subscriber amount. So whilst you're here, hit that like button and subscribe for me. Let's grow this channel. I'm gonna book my flights now for Barcelona and I'll see you there. Alright then, here we are in the Barcelona. This is Dobby. Say hello, my mate. Say hello. So a few of my mates live out in Barcelona, so I've come to stay at my mate's house, and he was actually going away this week, so I'm looking after our Dobby. So we're just cutting about now. We're gonna go check out some of the spots. I've been Barcelona a few times, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna hit up like the super touristy spots, although I'll probably wander through and just give you a little lowdown of it. But we're heading to a spot called Gracia, I think. It's up near Park Güell, which I was talking about before, which was like part of the inspiration for the part of the inspiration for the animation that I've made, right? So I guess it makes sense for me to actually show you Gaudi, Park Güell, that style, as it all kind of ties in. So we'll probably roll through there. Hopefully Dobby's allowed to come with. If not, we're smuggling him in the bag. In it, mate? Yeah, so let's have a stroll. How about that for a view? A vista. Nice. Come, let's go. These men are strapping a zoot up. Little wind protection. Yes. Check this out. Yeah.
Oh. Check all these behind me. Active. Don't know if you can make that out, but that's one of Gaudi's buildings. But then, like, don't sleep on this next to it as well. Like, all the architecture's mad. But it's pretty sick to see like the contrast, right?
We come on to Dobby.
Right, so we're walking into the Gothic Quarter, I think, or Gothic. I don't know how you pronounce it, but pretty sure down here is the Gothic Quarter, and we can just have a little stroll around down like loads of little alleyways and stuff. It's pretty cool. That's a belter. Alright, let's move. Oh, nice. Right then, so we've just dropped Dobby off, give him a little food. He's going to chill for a couple hours now, and we're off to the Moco Museum. Go catch the last couple hours of that. Have a little stroll about, see what it's about. Sun's still out, banging. The GOAT, Keith Haring, New York legend. Jeez. The surrealist GOAT, Dali. He's definitely one of my biggest inspos when it comes to like 3D and stuff. Like that surrealist vibe, I just really like to apply it to my work. Whoa. Takashi Murakami, legend. I went to Murakami's like massive exhibition in Kyoto. So good. If you're in Japan, make sure you hit that up. Obviously, goated. Got a sick Banksy collection in here. Through that as well. Good museum, that Moco, or Moco. If you're in Barca, defo give it a look. Whoa! Pigeon nearly fucking into my face. You seen that pigeon nearly licked me in my fucking face then? Prick. See you in a bit. Oh, that's so random. That girl in there was just like, "Are you from Manchester?" I served you the other day at Moira. It's like a sandwich shop. It's like, what the fuck? It's so random. It's just a weird small world, isn't it? Valid. Nice day in Barca. Gonna lock it off here for the day, get back to the gaff, eat that pizza, do a bit of work on the laptop and then call it a day. Catch you tomorrow. Alright, we've got the barbie on the go. Just heating up now. Gonna flip some burgers. A little beer. We're active, man, we're chilling. Yo, it's game day. Game day. One route to the OFFF Festival now. Probably get a little coffee and a bite to eat on the way up there. We're a bit late, we was out last night with my mates. And it is now, let's see, 10 to 11. So we are a bit late. It only started at 10 though, and like the talk that was on was full or some shit anyway, so we've not really missed anything. We're gonna go get our pass, get into the festival, have a cut about, go listen to some talks, and just see what the crack is, mate. And then later on, my visuals are on the big building, so should be a good day, man. Let's get into it.
From another perspective, I'm an artist that has a physics practice. When I first got to university age, I was obsessed with a large variety of things. And so, of course, logically, I decided to go to art school.
Visuals going on that building tonight. We had the idea, chat, we visualised it, we made it happen. Today it's coming to reality. Love it when a plan comes together. You get a pin for how many years you've been using Adobe. Got the 15 years right here. Got some veterans in here with 30. First we got our photo taken, I think.
3, 2, 1, move. 2 more seconds.
Step 2. That's it. This is the gummy bear prompt. Yo, that's hard.
I think that's kind of good.
Kind of like the design that we made for the animation, innit, chat? Quick burrito, classic.
Find the joy, celebrate the wins, and demand more.
It sounds very good, but sometimes it's truly expensive.
For 25 years. working on some of their limited edition flavours and some of the animations for that.
This is where it's getting projected. Oh, that is going off blatantly. Massive. Holy shit.
We're all together here creatively, all with a shared love for what we do in design and all the different sort of subcategories it falls into.
Belting day that at OFFF Festival. Definitely got some inspiration from that. Some sick talks. Just general good vibes. Sun was out, everyone was having a beer and that. I'm just heading back now to the gaff to get changed, and then we'll head back again and watch the visuals on the big screen, innit? Let's go. Going mad. So here we are, going live in 2 minutes. Yes, come on. Vibes are immaculate. Sagrada in the backdrop there. There we go, OFFF Barca complete, visuals locked up, let's go. Okay, and that's the end of the video. It's been a successful project. We got the visuals on the building, we did what we set out to achieve. If you enjoyed watching this video and you want to see more creative insight, life behind the scenes as a graphic designer, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.